Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Again, I'm with the one and only Steve Beaman. Love spending time with him every Monday, starting our week, getting us going in the right direction. And Steve, you actually have a guest for us this segment.
I do, and Kevin, we are in for a real treat today. 25 years ago, I was a young, energetic broker for the E.F. Hutton Company, and I was searching for my path to success. Well, into my life walked Dorien Nuniz, who was a senior vice president for Zacks Investment Research, and for some unknown reason, this guy saw potential in me, so he brought me in, and that began my rise to the top. Well, today I am honored to introduce Dorien to our audience. I mean, his credentials, Kevin, are so impressive. He's an MBA from Harvard. He's a chartered financial analyst. He's served in both the Bush and Clinton White Houses as an advisor on entrepreneurial development. He has spent 25 years helping pension funds improve their service to constituents. He's taught business and finance as an adjunct professor at 2 universities. His credentials just go on and on and on, not to mention the fact that he's still a very good saxophone player. But he's president of Omni Research and the Wall Street Advantage. Dorien, welcome to The Price of Business.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, welcome to the program. In fact, you should have sent us your sax music. We could have used that as bumper music while you were on.
Well, you don't have to twist my arm much to get me to play, so I may take you up on that offer.
Well, you sound like a real slacker, but we're glad to have you on the program anyway. So tell us real quickly. So, I'm big. I've got a mentor named Mike Richards that has been a great friend of mine. I've known him now for 30 years. And I tell you, we really stand on the shoulders of people like Dorien and Steve's case, Mike Richards in my case, and it's amazing the kind of difference these kind of people make in our lives, Steve.
Oh, absolutely, and I cannot credit Dorien enough for, building both the company as Axel, he was there, but helping lots of folks. So, Dorien, let's bring this to you right now. You're spending a lot of your time and efforts empowering young people through teaching financial and economic literacy. Give us some background on what you're doing there and with the Wall Street Advantage.
Okay, great, Steve, and thanks for asking about that. Yeah, Steve mentioned I've always been a teacher, a tutor in my younger days. And I created a course on entrepreneurship called Black Entrepreneurship for minority investors at the University of Cincinnati, and continue to do things in both finance and entrepreneurship. Today, I'm calling you from the Birkenroad Conference, which is a program put on by the MBA School of Tulane University in New Orleans, where a lot of companies from around the region come, investors come, a number of MBA students come from Tulane, and we're hosting undergraduate students from the Southern University Investment Group, newly formed, so that they can get exposure to the investment industry, because they're the future, and we need to introduce them and expose them to investment opportunities and entrepreneurship opportunities.
Hey,
specifically, the Wall.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Specifically, the Wall Street Advantage is something I created a couple of years ago when a professor from Illinois said we'd like to find programs and ways of teaching young people about finance and entrepreneurship. So we're on a quest where we look for good educational opportunities, programs, and other things, and just try to compile them, share them, and help scale it up. So that's what the Wall Street Advantage is about, to give other people the advantage that I've had since I started on Wall Street when I was 14, and introduce them to Wall Street. And it shows that if you learn finance, you learn math. And if you learn math, you do better in school. And it just carries on throughout your life and throughout your career.
Dorien, I need to interject here. Great stuff here, though. What's interesting about this is clearly you feel a calling to help future generations. Talk a little bit about that. Dorien?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that question?
Yeah, obviously you feel a calling to help future generations when it comes to this.
Well, I do, and that's because I was helped myself. I'm a native of New York City. I came from the what you would call the inner city of New York. I was a good math student. I had teachers who helped me, who opened up doors of opportunities. I ended up getting a scholarship to go up to St. Paul's School, one of the prestigious boarding schools in New Hampshire. Ended up going to Harvard College, Harvard Business School, and everything else. So others have opened doors for me. I was lucky enough to go through them and then run with it. And so I've always felt this as a way of giving back and contributing and educating people and teaching and training and opening up doors of opportunities for people who may not have that silver spoon and may not have that access to elite opportunities that I've been able to be exposed to.
Yep, very good. Steve?
Well, Dorien, tell us now, you're out there, and I know, by the way, I do hear a little bit of that southern twang in your voice these days from Tulane and from living down in the Big Easy. Tell us, you've got some students out with you today, correct, that are in this conference. Are there any of those who'd like to join us and maybe make a comment?
Well, they're not with me right now because I had to find a quiet corner. But these are undergraduate students, and they're sitting in on meetings being held by companies. A lot of companies from the region are underfollowed by Wall Street, and they come here to the Birkenroad Conference and meet investors, institutional investors, and other investors, and their CFOs come, and they give Wall Street-level presentations to people. So it's really a big event. And a number of companies from Houston are down here, too. So it really is a great regional event. It's the 17th year they've done this. And but the students are having their eyes are just being opened very widely by experiencing this.
Yeah, we'll have to do a future segment with one or two of your students. I think that'd be a great idea.
Great.
Indeed. Now, Dorien, I don't know how much time we've got, so I want to make it brief, but could you give us a quick insight into what you did with the Bush and Clinton White Houses in entrepreneurial development, since this is the price of business?
Sure, and I like to be real clear and accurate. I didn't serve on their staff, but each one was different. George Bush had the U.S. Commission on Minority Business Development, headed by Joshua Smith, who's now a director at Federal Express. And this was this was 20 years ago, 1990, 1992. This was the largest ever effort, still true, to review opportunities and challenges for minority businesses and make suggestions and changes. One of the suggestions that I made, which they adopted, stop calling small businesses disadvantaged businesses, call them historically underutilized businesses, because that's what they are, underutilized resources. And that study was done, the report came out, then there was a change in administration, and the Clinton administration went in a different direction.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, the president had a governor of Texas, and he instituted one of the largest historically underutilized business programs in the country. So Texas is well known for its hub program, and it's evolved tremendously over the years, and it's been responsible for opening up economic opportunity for a lot of businesses that would have been overlooked.
Yeah.
So that's what I did with the Bush administration. I'm proud. Anytime you have a chance to serve as a consultant to any presidential commission, you should just do it. It's a calling. For your country, I think we all have a patriotic duty to do it.
Gentlemen, I got to wrap it up. We're going to run out of clock here real quick, and we'll just be talking to the sky here in a moment. So Steve Beaman, he, of course, is with the Society for the Advancement of Financial Education. That's stevebeaman.org. And Dorien, what's a website for you?
Well, we're just launching. Our Omni website is for our institutional clients, but we're going to be launching one for individuals to come on and get information from us down the road.
Thank you, gentlemen, very much. Great segments and enjoyed it very much. All right, we come back. We're going to have much, much more for you. I do want to remind you the show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com. Also want to remind you to check out our sister news website, usdailyreview.com. You're listening to The Price of Business.